Claude Fable 5 just dropped. We're going to look at it in this video, everything about it, and use it, talk about what the hype's about, and also let's just drive through the hype as well and see what's the reality about this. First and foremost this is a variation of Mythos. This is basically Claude Mythos for the public. What Mythos was, it was originally going to release as the public as a standalone model. Basically, they found that it was so powerful that it kept finding security vulnerabilities in everything. There's actually a really scary video I'll recommend you watch. I'll play a clip of it here in just a second. And so this is essentially Mythos with security guardrails. If you go tell this thing to go hack your buddy's bank account or whatever, it's not going to do that. It has a lot more guardrails than Mythos had, but this still beats out other models in a lot of different areas. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't always even believe in these charts. I think sometimes they just kind of not make stuff up, but kind of run with stuff. But basically, agentic coding is a big benchmark of this. Again, it has it right next to Mythos 5 and Fable 5. And when you compare it to things like 4.8 or GPT 5.5, I mean, it's a dramatic percentage over on the agentic coding. And I want to talk about that in just a minute. One of the biggest breakthroughs that this has had is, according to the person who created the code or is working on the code behind Claude Code, his name is Felix. I just read this whole thread by him. I'll just sum it up for you. As you can see, he does the code at Anthropic. He specifically led Claude Code and Claude Cowork. Basically, this entire thread sums up one thing about Fable 5, and it's right here. It's basically changing everything's dynamic from power users who know how to use these LLMs to really going towards loops. So what does this mean? He actually explains it a little later and talks about that people typically, start the prompt. We'll say it right here. So he no longer has to tell Claude to investigate a particular crash report. It runs in a loop watching every crash report that comes in. Its job is no longer to help me fix a crash. It's to keep our apps from crashing. In other words, since 2024, you really needed a human to be in the loop, a human to start and a human to finish. He said that somewhere in here, but it's kind of long, so I probably lost it. That's basically Mythos. Again, you saw the agentic capabilities being 20-30% over other models. Is it's able to kind of do this on its own without needing a human in the loop. And that's what he's saying is the biggest part. Even Boris, who is another part of Claude Code, kind of gave a quick take saying that's the best model he's used for coding by a wide margin. It is a big step up, enabling less prompts and steers, more efficient token use, better code quality, better tool use, better itself verification. So when we do a lot of the test, I'm just going to be honest with you, it would be a lot better on the Claude Code and agentic side of things, which I'll try to do. But I will say I've developed apps with Claude. I've developed workflows. It would be a lot better at doing something more comprehensive. I'm not going to do that in this video because it's just going to take up too much time, and I really want this video just to get the news out surrounding Fable 5, what it can do, why it's different, and again, shave through all the mess of saying this is going to hack everybody, because it's not. But I do want to talk about what it is. In the actual Claude's announcement of it, you really just see, they just had a random video of these butterflies or whatever showing, I guess, the comprehensiveness of it. This is the video that I recommended you go watch later by Alex Albert. And this whole section basically just talks about why they kind of tighten the safeguards for security. And then again on how Mythos 5 is restricted to Glasswing partners, but Fable 5 is now available to the public. So now that you have all of that, let's try it out. We're going to try Fable 5, and we have Fable 5 on. And I'm going to do what I just typically do and say, look, I know Fable 5 just released an hour ago. Show me what Fable 5 can do that 4.8 would have struggled doing. Really impress me and viewers. And we'll see what it does with that. I mean, that's a pretty general prompt. You can see at the bottom that Fable 5 is on. It's on high, which is the highest that it goes. I have 2x the usage of Opus because they don't want everyone abandoning Opus and going for Fable, which inevitably they will. But I'm very interested to see not only what this does, but how long that it takes. I'm also interested in start using this for my coding. All right, Chris. Let's give the viewers something. Instead of telling you at a benchmark number, I'll just build something live. A full disk flight physics simulator, interactive in one shot right here in the chat. Flight numbers, hyzer angle, arm speed, animated flight path, the works park disc golf crossover episode. So I created a disc golf scoring app. I've talked about it before. If you're not into disc golf, then you're not going to care about it. If you're into disc golf, it's in the iOS store and it's called Park Disc Golf. That's why Claude has a lot of memory on me doing disc golf related stuff. So it's telling me that within this chat, it will create a full simulator of this. And I guess that's something that 4.8 would have struggled with before. It always does the most random stuff. Last time when 4.7 released, what it did for me was this like space simulator. I thought was really cool. So this is a driver, overstable. I pick it. Okay, this is really cool. So I'm going to pick whether I want a overstable driver, an understable, a fairway, or a putter. Okay, and if I'm going to throw a right hand or backhand, this is actually pretty crazy. I hope you guys can respect what I'm about to do as much as I do, because this is literally doing the physics of how a disc would fly if thrown a certain way, depending on the speed. So absolutely insane. We're like borderline making a video game here in real time while I talk about this. And you can even see here, it'll talk about how the physics will work. This means right hand, backhand. I'm assuming I'll be able to change it to like left hand, backhand, or maybe it'll be a forehand. And I'm also assuming I'll be able to change the numbers and it'll change the physics of the flight. But right now it's just kind of creating everything. So there's the landing zone that it's picking. So I guess it's going to have you start off here, and the landing zone is about 350 feet between the 300 foot and the 400 foot marker. There's the prompt: a one-shot working disc flight simulator. And yes, results speak for itself. Okay, so if I actually land it within 11 feet, which is my app's point, then I get a park thing. So if I'm throwing 350 feet, I'll probably do, I mean, honestly, this is probably fine. I'll do an understable driver, 11 speed. Arm speed is strong. It's going to turn it over. We'll do like an 80% arm speed. Pin distance is 360. Let's go ahead and throw it. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Okay, so I didn't get parked. But like insanely close to parked. It just went 367 feet, and it's only 26 feet away from the pin. It was a little right. So in order for it to go a little bit left, if I decrease the arm speed, it would actually decrease the distance. I'll decrease that by just 75%, and it should just go a little bit left. We'll try this again. It's going to be pretty close to where it just landed. See, it moved a little bit to the left. So I need it to go just a little further. Okay, so we're going to need this to be a little bit more, a little less turn, a little more arm. We'll crank that up to 79. And we got it. We're parked. We got the green animation for parked. That was really freaking cool. I know if you don't appreciate disc golf, you're probably not going to appreciate what you just witnessed, but that was really freaking cool to me. Super cool. Anyways, if you guys like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next video.